Now let's have another diagram to understand all its relations and its branches too. So here we have our diagram. So acha, one more thing to remember about the posterior intercostal arteries is that the arteries that are on the left side are smaller than the right ones, because as we know that the descending aorta is on the left side and not on the right side. So the descending aorta is on the left side, so the branches coming up to the right side are longer in the length as compared to the left ones, right? So this was the concept. Now coming upon so here in this diagram we have this right side and this one as the left side. As you can see, this is the descending aorta. So let me mention it here. This is the descending aorta. Then this is the oesophagus, right? Then as you can see, these two stars here, these are the sympathetic chain. Sympathetic chain. Then we have, as we know that on the left side we have the hemiazygous vein, and on the right side we have the azygous vein. So this one, as it is the right side, so here we have the azygous vein, and this is the left side, so here we have the hemiazygous vein, right? And this one on the right side we have the thoracic duct. So from here the relations are clear. Moreover, let's write these relations. So as I told you, the relations on the right side we have the posterior intercostal artery behind the azygous vein, thoracic duct, oesophagus, and sympathetic chain. While on the left side it is behind the hemiazygous vein, and sympathetic chain. Right? So here we go. And it is the posterior intercostal artery is anterior to the thoracic vertebra, both on the right and the left side. So both on the right and the left side it is anterior to thoracic vertebra. I'll show you this on the diagram too. Focus here, this is the thoracic vertebra. Thoracic vertebra. So this would be the posterior side and this would be the anterior side, as here we have the sternum here, right? Now, so here we have the sternum and here we have the thoracic vertebra. This posterior intercostal artery is anterior to the thoracic vertebra and behind these all things, right? Now coming upon the branches of the posterior intercostal artery. So first we have these two branches, that are, we have the anterior rami or the branch and the dorsal branch. So here we have our anterior branch and here we have our posterior branch. First we will name all these branches and then we will see where it supplies. Then we have our main branch, that is called the lateral cutaneous branch. Here we have our lateral cutaneous branch. Lateral cutaneous branch. Then we have our collateral branch. Here we have our collateral branch, this one. right? Here we have cold branch. Now these from here you can see this is the anterior intercostal artery. This one is the anterior intercostal artery. These two, as I told you, there are the two anterior intercostal arteries in each space. So the upper one anastomosing with its with the posterior intercostal artery itself, and this is the lower anterior intercostal artery. Sorry, space I have written. It's artery. The lower one anastomosed with its collateral branch and not with the posterior intercostal artery itself, right? And this one from which these anterior intercostal arteries are arising, it is the internal thoracic artery, which is also a branch of the subclavian artery. So we can also say that the intercostal spaces basically are supplied by the subclavian artery, directly or indirectly. Then 90% of the intercostal space is supplied by the posterior intercostal artery. As you can see that the posterior intercostal artery has the more course than the anterior ones. Anterior one only arises from the internal thoracic artery and then anastomose with the posterior intercostal artery at the costochondral junction. So this one is the costochondral junction. Right? Now let's see where these all branches supply. So the first one is the dorsal branch. Here we have or the posterior branch. The posterior branch basically supplies spinal cord, thoracic vertebra, muscles and the skin of the back. Because it's the posterior branch, so it will go to the posterior side. So it will supply the spinal cord, then the thoracic vertebra, skin and muscles of back. The anterior branch. The anterior branch will supply the muscles of the intercostal space. Muscles of intercostal space. That are the intercostal muscles, and moreover it also supplies the serratus anterior muscle and pectoral muscles, right? Then we have our lateral cutaneous branch that is dividing into the anterior and the posterior and supplying the intercostal space. Anterior and the posterior branch of the lateral cutaneous artery. Then we have the collateral branch. This collateral branch also help in the anastomosing with the anterior intercostal artery. Now it also gives a memory branch that is also known as the external memory artery. This basically arises from the second, third and the fourth posterior intercostal artery. So here I am writing this artery's name, that's known as the external memory artery. External memory artery. Let me number all these branches first. First one was the anterior branch, second one was the posterior or the dorsal branch, third one was the lateral cutaneous branch, the fourth one was the collateral branch, the fifth one is the external memory artery that arises from the second, third and fourth posterior intercostal artery. Posterior intercostal artery, PIA. Then the sixth one is the right bronchial artery. It basically arises from the right third posterior intercostal artery and accompany the bronchial vein. So it from a third PIA. So it was all about that. Hope you like my video. If you like so, don't forget to subscribe, like and share my channel. And yes, if you want the notes, pictures, you can check out my Facebook page. I will drop the link of the Facebook page in the description box below. Thank you.